Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to work on AccetraX. That is the app that we built with Claude. We built the front end, the MVP with Claude. It is a financial app. So basically, we want to be able to track our spending. We add transactions, we check our transactions, we check our spending. Basically, this is the dashboard for you. Your current balance will be available, your total spend expenses, and monthly expenses, and your total income to be here. So this was built with Claude. The video is probably in the description or in my channel. Kindly check it out. This is my code base now. I just added my website link here in the taskbar footer. Okay, so this is just the taskbar footer, and this is a React based built app. So this is probably live streaming in some way, and I'm gonna use ChatGPT. I'm not gonna use any of the agents like Claude and Codex directly from VS Code as usually what I do. But I'm gonna use ChatGPT directly. And what I did is to install Repomix. So if you don't know anything about Repomix, Repomix bundles your code. Okay, it bundles your code, everything, so that if you're using an external chatbot, the chatbot can understand your repo or your code and be able to instruct you on what to fix and what to do next. If you guys don't mind the background noise, I'm actually in Takari now, and yeah, World Cup season where I'm lodged, a lot of noise around. You're gonna hear people walk, talking, all that. Just let us slide it. Let's continue working. So this is where I am now. I'm gonna host it, so I'm gonna deploy it on Firebase Hosting. I actually also purchased my domain. This domain was bought from Namecheap, quite cheap as well. .online domain is usually cheap, so if you want to buy your domain, you just go to domains, new domain, and this is where you can just search for your domain name and purchase it. I have a lot of domains which I bought from Namecheap. So what I'm trying to do now is beginner friendly. You don't need any experience, you just need your AI chatbot. Okay, you don't need to know any code. You know, my background is a designer, and I've been able to build web apps, build websites, build softwares, just being a designer and learning the fundamentals. I have a crash course coming on soon that you would like to hop on, because I'm gonna teach you all the fundamentals that you need to build web apps, to know the architecture, Firebase, the vessels and everything, the backend functions, everything you need to know, the hosting, the storage, authentications. So kindly check the link in the description. Sign up, right? Just sign up, because it'll be available on pre-order, and that will be like a low discount from the main product. So yeah, if you're an early bird, you are definitely getting it lesser. So I'm just gonna start my hosting in Firebase. I'm just letting my chatbot know that I've bought a domain called AccetraX.com. But we will do domain the hosting first before we connect the domain. That is how it's usually done. So I'm just telling GTP to just read the Firebase, how to connect the domain and everything. It's gonna read all the documentations that I don't need to go and read everything again. Okay, so the first step we are going to do is deploy AccetraX to Firebase Hosting. Then we are going to Firebase console, and we are going to add our domain. We will add etc x and we check the DNS settings and everything. All right, so first thing is hosting. So when we say deploying to Firebase hosting, deploying is just like putting it online. It's just a technical word. Okay, it means putting your website online, putting my web app online so that even you can access it. So definitely after this video, we would see our website online and you'll be able to access. What we see here is localhost, so it's not online yet. It's on my local computer. It's running here in my development environment, so it's not online yet. So what we need to do is to install Firebase hosting. So this command is just telling me to install or build the web app, which is already built. So this is, I have to skip this step. Okay, so I have to make you aware. Okay, so my web app is already being deployed to local, so let's skip this one and let's go ahead to the most important dependencies that we need for the Firebase hosting. And I can literally give it my localhost domain, right, so that it knows. I'm gonna go ahead and close some tabs here and close this tab as well. I'm gonna close this tab as well. So what we have here is install npm or npm install -g Firebase tools. So this one is what we use to install Firebase CLI. Okay, so this is how you're able to communicate with Firebase and use Firebase products. So basically it says for Firebase hosting only, you do not need to install Firebase SDK inside React app yet. You only need the CLI, and the official document says hosting uses the Firebase CLI to initialize and deploy the site. So we are going to go ahead, copy this here, go to our terminal, and we are going to open a new terminal. So this terminal is for launching my app, and this terminal is for Repomix. I'm going to open a new terminal for hosting, right? And I'm gonna run this command here. So it's gonna load and it's gonna install Firebase. So with this process, all you need is probably the ChatGPT Go. You don't need codecs, you don't need the $20. You just need ChatGPT Go and Repomix. And yeah, I mean, you can even use other Gemini free and all that, but at least to at least to know that you are working with one of the best tools or the best LLM models, you go with ChatGPT and you're good to go. So let's give it a while. It's gonna install our tool, Firebase tool, and you're going to confirm with the version number. It's going to give us the version number. All right, so this is all you need to get Firebase on board. So while we are getting Firebase on board, let's go and open a new sidebar, taskbar, and let's check Firebase itself. So what we need is Firebase console, and yeah, Firebase console you can just go search Firebase console. You're going to get this. Okay. Let's say you just search for Firebase. You see this. It's literally the first suggestions from Google. I mean, sponsored results. Google sponsoring Google. Yeah. So this is where you might end up instead of this panel or this dashboard. And what you need is to click on console. This takes you to console. This is just like dashboard for you to learn more about Firebase, all the services that they offer, backend as a function, backend as a service pass, and function as a service. Yeah, so everything that they do, you can see it from this panel here, and all you need is navigate, go to console. So yeah, this is the same panel here, it's just a different route. All right, so let me just close this tab. And these are some of the web apps hosted on Firebase. There are other hosting platforms that we can use, but I prefer Firebase. So all we need to do is click on create. Okay, you're going to create a new Firebase project, and you're going to add the name here. But let's not rush. Okay, we've not reached this level yet. I just wanted you to know what we are working with. This is Firebase that we're working with. Okay, so it's done installing the packages, and let's copy the prompt which is going to test. Okay, the prompt that we are going to use it to test our Firebase version. So let's test the version here. You testing the version doesn't mean this is the version you're going to use always. Sometimes it will prompt you to update automatically. Not automatic, but Firebase will give you prompt to update it in this same terminal sometimes when you are working, especially when you log in and log out. So this is the current version that we have. So let's say you don't know the next step. All you need to do is copy this and go to your chatbot, paste it here. You can add some text like what's next or whatever, but since it knows that we are trying to host, it would tell us the next step that we are going to do. So you see it says step 2, log into Firebase. So that is what we are going to do. Okay, so there are 2 ways of logging in to Firebase here, right? So I'm already here, and I'm going to take a screenshot and give it to it. So for clarity, so the login, is it recommended that I log in from my terminal or I log in on Firebase console? Which one is the best method? And mind you, there is no mistake in this. You can just go ahead and create your project and connect it to the terminal. Right? And always, anytime you are working, you can just Firebase logout, Firebase login. But we are not logged in yet, so you can just Firebase login. And yeah, it has logged me in here. Okay, so you can see Firebase has logged in. But let's say you don't understand any of this, you need to ask your chatbot, ask it questions. So it says I should create the Firebase project in the console, then use the terminal only for deployment. Great. So what I need to do is create this. So I'm going to create my project here. yeah, I'm going to continue. Enable Gemini. It's not important, but yeah, let's. Okay, so I think there is something here you wouldn't want anyone to know of, right? So default account for Firebase. Yeah. So it's gonna create my project in Firebase. Okay, it's like a bucket that I can do authentications, I can do my cloud storage. But right now we are just doing hosting. Yes. So after this, you see your API keys and everything that you wouldn't want the world to know. So when you are recording your screen and such information comes up, you need to blur it out or you cut it. Right. So my Firebase project is ready. I'm going to click on continue and it's going to open my Firebase project. So yeah, I don't need Gemini. I'm going to close this Gemini tab here. And you can click on this section to add a web app. So before that, I'm just going to close it. So one thing that AI works well is giving it context. Okay. So we can just add web app here and restart the process, but I want to show you how to do things as a complete beginner. Right, so let's give it context, step by step context. So what it's showing me here is something different. This is it showing me what I should do for my terminal. Okay, this is what we do to deploy websites or after we've created everything on Firebase. Right, so it says connect your new Firebase project to your local folder. So do not click add app yet. For hosting only, we do not deploy through. For hosting only, we can deploy through CLI first. Okay, so what I need to do is log in, and I have logged in already, which is what I did here. Firebase login. So basically what we are trying to do is just put the work online. So after we put it online, then we can go ahead and add like more functionalities. But knowing what we want, we could have just gone ahead and create a web app directly, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and do this step by step. So we are going to run this command, Firebase to list our projects. So here we can see etc x here. So I'm going to copy this and give the context to GPT so that it knows etc x is available. So what we are going to do is to start Firebase hosting. So after the prompt, which is Firebase init hosting, that is start hosting, basically Firebase start hosting, that's what it means. And we will make some questions. We're going to select our folder, we select etc x. What do you want to use a directory for, and configure single app, and also set up automatic build with deployed GitHub deployment, which means if I post my work to GitHub, it should automatically go to hosting, it should go live, which we use no. So at this point, what you're trying to do is you can use GitHub for like repo backup or whatever, version control, and we can specifically push Firebase products or publish live what we want to publish. Okay, so let's go ahead and start hosting. For Vessel and other hosting platforms, what you can set is the moment you push your work to GitHub, it updates live on the web. So any new update pushed to GitHub will just go live. So we're going to go through with this, and yeah, so what are we ready to proceed? Yes, which is why we are going to select our existing product. We are going to select etc x online. Yes, that's yeah. So there are a few questions that we want to make sure we get it right. So hosting is going to be set up. I don't know, this might not be asked, right? This might not be asked. So let's say you made a question, you don't really know what to do with it. You're just gonna paste a question here and you get your answers directly from ChatGPT and you paste your answers there. Simple as it is. So let's say it gives you this and you don't really understand what it means. You can ask it to explain later, right? So one thing about AI is you don't skip the learning process. You still need to learn. You don't need to skip the learning process. Okay, great. So sometimes too, you don't need to understand everything. You just need it to work. So let's go ahead. Yes. Yes, okay. Yes, and automatic build, no. No. Would I like to install agent skills? I mean, this is something new, so let's ask. It might not be needed. I don't think it's important. And hopefully everything can still be worked on later. As in, you don't need agentic skills because it's like everything being packaged for you again and again and again. You know, I'm using ChatGPT, which is already an agent. I can create all the skills and asking me if I want to, you know, create agentic skills and all that stuff. So this is the Firebase that we installed. This is the packages, what makes Firebase run. Right. So it can get a little bit bloated based on adding authentications and adding other functionalities too. So you can just copy the end of the initialization and let your agent know that we are done. And mind you, if you're using codecs, you don't need to do the manual stuffs. Okay, you can automate everything. So now that we are done, what we need to do is build. Okay, run npm run build. If it's able to build, that means everything was successfully done. So it's going to build our web app again, and we are going to go ahead and deploy only hosting. So deploying only hosting is basically deploying front end only. After deploying, definitely should be seeing my, what do you call it, my link. Okay, wow, so this is our live link. Yes, etc.x.web app. Okay, etc.x.online.web app. So we've deployed this website live. I can just open any tab, right, any web browser, and search this and you'll find it. Okay, you can take your phone. So basically this app is live now. So this is how we deploy on Firebase. Very simple, few steps, and you're good to go. So let's refresh our web app. Okay, so you can see it's been deployed by Emmanuel. This is my Aning Emmanuel. This is my Gmail here. Great. So this is just a local host, and this domain is a live domain. So when I go to hosting, we are live, right? So that is how to deploy on Firebase. So let's go ahead to our template. And yeah, for confirmation, I can just copy this live link and paste it here. So we know we are done deploying on Firebase. So what I need to do next is to add my custom domain. Right. Yeah, so I'm supposed to see this section which allows me to add domain, but for some reason here, I don't know if it's I don't know what error I'm facing, but let's try and troubleshoot it and fix it. So Google kindly fix your software. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be fixed here after some glitch, right? This is some glitch. It doesn't happen often for you. Google, work on this. Yeah, so when you go to hosting, this is our Firebase backend, right? Not really backend. Let's say our dashboard here. But it still controls our backend, basically or technically. So this is where you can add database storage. This is for authentications and hosting, right? So you just sometimes you have to navigate through serverless hosting and you click on hosting. When you click on hosting, it will be added here. So when it's added here, you can be able to see the dashboard here. Initially it wasn't working, so it was a glitch, and now we can add a custom domain. Okay, so this is the domain that Firebase gives us. This is a free domain, so if you don't have money to buy a custom domain, this is not bad, etc.x.online.web app. It's not bad. When you click on it, it goes live. It's live on the internet. But we have a custom domain that we bought from Namecheap. Okay. So the custom domain, the difference is it doesn't have the extension of the web app. The web app is an extension from Firebase. Some use vessel, netlify, and all that. Okay, so let me close one of this and let's go ahead. This is what you do. Click on add custom domain. So when you add custom domain, it says enter the exact name of the domain name you want people to see when they visit your website. Okay, so the exact name, I'm going to Namecheap, and yeah, I want to copy the exact name, so I'm going to the dashboard. Okay, this is the domain right here, so I'm going to go back to domain list. Okay, and you can see I have some domains here. Click on manage. Before I click on manage, let me just copy this here. Copy, click on manage, because inside is where we do our settings. So I'm going to go back to Firebase and I'm going to paste the name here and redirect etc x online to an existing website. I don't need that, so I'm going to continue here. And when you click on continue, what you're going to see is domain propagation settings. So settings that will allow Firebase to send your new domain to all their servers, so that if anywhere in the world somebody searches for etcx.com, etcx online, they are going to find my web app hosted on Firebase. Okay, so it needs some setup to be done. Let's say you don't understand any of this, a name, txt, blah blah blah, right? For context, sometimes I do copy if I don't want to take screenshots, okay, because images sometimes make your chart heavier, so I can just copy this and AI will understand. So I'm literally showing you all the ways to do stuff. Okay, so you're going to go to advanced DNS. And when you go to advanced DNS, you are going to basically also give AI context. Let's say you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you don't need to do this at all. Okay, you just need to fix the details inside so that it propagates. So I'm going to paste the context I have copied here as well, paste it here, and AI will simplify everything for me. We need to change some old details. Okay, so it says first we need to remove these existing records. So let's go here and check the existing records, which is the parking namecheap.com. It's not always straightforward. Sometimes you don't do this, but yeah, let's go ahead and delete this and delete this one as well. So after we delete it, then we will add the new ones from Firebase. So the first record is what, type A, and what you need to do, all you need to do is copy just the IP address, because when you come here to add a new record, you can simply select type A, right? And you can simply select this, and what you need to do is paste the IP address. This you leave it at automatic and save your changes, and you need to check if there's another one you add it. So copy this as well, then you go back, and what we are adding is a txt record. So add a new record, check it, txt, add, and the value is hosting dash site is equal to etcx dash online, and what you save changes, right? So that is it. That is all you need to do. Okay, that is all you need to do. And let's go ahead and verify. It might not work initially or instantly, but just give it some time, like 30 minutes, for it to propagate properly, like spread your domain across all their servers. Then you can come back and check, and you can close it for now. So you can see, you can close it for now, and it will be connected later. It takes, let's say, from 30 minutes to like 24 hours. Okay, so later you can come and check. All right, so probably we are going to end this video here. There's the version 1. The version 2, we are going to make this etcx a web app, and we are going to add a lot like what we have here. We are going to add authentications to it. Okay, I'll need to work authentication with the correct domain. I don't want to create any logic with a custom or this domain and later have to change. So we're going to wait for this to propagate, then we continue with the authentication and also the storage, so that if we come here and add details, add some details, delete some details, we can sign in, sign out, and be able to see everything. Anytime we sign in, our details will be saved. So as I said, this is more or less like a live stream. All the errors are inside. You learn from me. You learn on your own as you do your own practices as well. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And yeah, we are going to build a sign-in dashboard so that we'll be able to add authentications in the next video. So it says after saving, go back to Firebase, check again. Verification may take up to 30 minutes to a few hours, sometimes 24 hours. Okay, so yeah, this is where we end this version 1, and I'll be back. Of course, I'll be back.